Hola a todos, buenas noches. Hoy es martes 20 de agosto de 2024. Son las 6:30 de la tarde en Colombia. Yo soy Mike y les doy la bienvenida a una clase más de revisión de temas en nuestro canal Español Fácil con Mike. I was thinking about something else. Okay, hi everybody, good evening. Today is Tuesday, August the 20th, 2024. It's 6:30 p.m. in Colombia. I'm Mike, and I bid you welcome to another review class in our channel, Spanish with Mike. This is a channel in which I'm trying to bring resources, useful resources for you to understand and learn Spanish. Spanish is not, well, Spanish is kind of a complex language, but it's not impossible. It can be difficult, and most likely, the complexity of the language comes when we have to start conjugating verbs. I think that's the most difficult part of Spanish. Anything else is like any other language. You need to learn vocabulary, you need to learn expressions, some kind of pronunciation. That's pretty much it. But when it comes to conjugating verbs, it's kind of difficult because it's way too different than in English. In English, when we conjugate verbs, we have basically one conjugation for all of the pronouns depending on the tense. So that makes easy for native English speakers to use the conjugation. Well, plus is your native language, so of course it's going to be easy. For us Spanish speakers, when we are learning English, we find that kind of confusing, but it's easy because we don't need to think about conjugation for I, you, he, she, it, and so and so. Especially when in English we have you, and you can be used for three different subjects: you singular in Spanish, you singular informal, you singular formal, and you plural. And you from Spain, which is a different word. So okay, so that's pretty much it. So I'm trying to bring useful resources in this channel for you to be able to take um, advantage of. I really want to thank each and every one of you, the ones who are watching this live right now with us. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching these videos, for watching these contents. Hope you like it and hope you will find this useful. I want to thank also to the people who's watching this video later, because this is part of a playlist in which you can find all of these videos. And also thanks to the members of the channel. Thank you for your support. I've been kind of sick these days. I got a strong cold. I do apologize if I need to stop from time to time to cough. I have a raspy voice, a sore throat, but anyways, we're here and we're going to try to review the things that we have learned this week. So let's start with the subject that we have for this week. We've been posting videos in which we focus on verb conjugation. As I explained you before, um, I think, in my opinion, the thing that makes difficult the process of learning Spanish is the verb conjugation. That's it. That's it. Because compared to English, Spanish is the same subject verb object structure. It's exactly the same. We say yo como carne. I eat meat. He loves his mom. Él ama a su mamá. It's exactly the same, right? What's the deal here with Spanish? The deal here in Spanish is that whereas in Spanish, in English, we have one conjugation form for all of the subjects. I played, you played, he played, we played, they played, and it's played in the past. It's the same conjugation form. In Spanish, it's not the same. You say yo jugué, o yo jugaba. Tú jugaste, tú jugabas. Usted jugó, usted jugaba. Ustedes jugaron, ustedes jugaban. Él jugó, él jugaba, blah, blah, blah. And that makes difficult for foreigners um, to learn the language, right? But it's a matter of practice. It's just a matter of practice and switching and wiring your brain to do so. So there's another thing. The other thing is that some of the verbs that we use in certain scenarios, we conjugate the verbs using indirect object pronouns. And for the past few weeks, I've been posting videos about these kind of verbs. Verbs in which we use indirect object pronouns in Spanish. Just like the classic example is the verb to like. In English, we have subject, verb, object. I like you. I like apples. He likes swimming. We like pizza. Right? Subject, verb, object. In Spanish, when we translate that to Spanish, when we want to say those sentences in Spanish, we cannot use the same form. Well, we can, but we're not going to sound natural. We can say, yo gusto de ti. I like you. Yo gusto de ti. If I say that to a native speaker, to another Spanish native speaker, that person is going to understand, but he's going to say like, it sounds kind of fancy, kind of weird, a little bit unnatural. Well, I do understand, but it doesn't sound quite natural. I'm sorry. So if I say we like pizza, in that subject object verb form structure, I would say nosotros gustamos de pizza. And yeah, it's understandable, but it's not natural. So we say nos gusta la pizza. Or we can say a nosotros nos gusta la pizza. In this example, instead of using the subject pronoun nosotros, we use the indirect object pronoun nos. And we also use two additional words sometimes, a nosotros, just before the indirect object pronoun. That's the tricky part. That's the tricky part. And that's what we need to focus on, because this is pretty much the idea of these kind of verbs. And we have some verbs in which we do with verbs that we do that with, right? So let's check first, just to review, the indirect object pronouns. The indirect object pronoun is the pronoun that is going to replace the subject pronoun in the subject verb object structure. That's it. So when I say I like pizza, instead of using I as yo, which is the subject pronoun, I'm going to use the indirect object pronoun me. Then I conjugate the verb accordingly, me gusta, and then the object, la pizza, me gusta la pizza. And that's it. Good things about this kind of verbs. If I'm using simple present tense, like me gusta, I like pizza, whenever I go to any other subject, we like pizza, the conjugation is the same. A nosotros nos gusta la pizza. I like pizza, me gusta la pizza. A usted le gusta, a ella le gusta, a nosotros nos gusta, and so and so. So meaning that these kind of verbs in which we use the indirect object pronoun, the conjugation is the same for all of the pronouns. Is the same for each one of the tenses. So it doesn't change. And in the structure, we're going to use the indirect object pronoun instead of it's going to replace the subject pronoun. So if I'm going to use I, which is yo in español, in Spanish, instead of using yo, I use me. Instead, if I'm going to use you as tú, singular, informal, close relationship, tú, instead of saying tú, I use te. Instead of using he, she, it, and you in the formal way of usted, usted, él, ella, we use le. If we are going to use nosotros, we, as a subject pronoun, we replace that with nos, indirect object pronoun. And for you, plural, which is ustedes, and they, which is ellos, ellas, we use les. That's it. That's the thing. We have to do that. We have to take and learn these indirect object pronouns because we are going to replace the subject pronoun with this. And sometimes we use two more words just before the indirect object pronoun. Sometimes instead of just saying me, we say a mí me. A mí me. Instead of just saying te for tú, we say a ti te. Instead of saying just le for usted, we say a usted le. A él le, a ella le, a nosotros or a nosotras nos, a ustedes les, a ellos, a ellas les. So as you can see, sometimes we just use just the indirect object pronoun and sometimes we use this form, and this can be not exclusively, but it can be in order to give emphasis to the action. Not necessarily, but usually. Because sometimes I just say, a mí me gusta la pizza, and that's it. It's not my intention to give emphasis to the fact that I like pizza. But I just say it. But if I want to make sure that I want to give emphasis, of course I say, a mí me gusta la pizza, instead of just saying, me gusta la pizza. You can go with either of those. It is important that you understand that you're going to find both of them because that's the way we talk. You don't have to talk like that. You can just say me instead of a mí me. Or you can say a mí me, or you can use both. Whatever you feel more comfortable with. But the matter is for you to learn this. So the good thing is that so far we've been posting videos, and we have posted like 98. Let me check. Just give me just a second. I want just to make sure how many videos we have posted about this. So, okay, by the way, if you're here, please like the video. That helps a lot. It's not going to cost anything. That's for free, and it helps a lot the channel. It helps us grow. It helps us with a lot of stuff. So I really appreciate you for liking the videos. So we have posted fascinar, importar, interesar, encantar y gustar. 5 verbs so far. We have posted 5 verbs in which we conjugate the verb with indirect object pronoun. Gustar, encantar, interesar, importar, and fascinar. And some of those verbs can be just conjugated without the indirect object pronoun, but most likely we do that. So it is important. Thank you for that like. I saw that somebody liked the video. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for that. I really appreciate it because that helps the channel to keep on growing, to reach more people, and well, that's nice. Okay, so let's go back to the verbs. And this past week, we have posted the verbs importar and fascinar. With the verb importar, there is something that I already explained in the video, and is that importar, it can be translated as to care about. Yeah? I care about you, me importas. Or to import. If we conjugate the verb as to import, it is going to go subject verb object, meaning that if I say I import cars from USA, I say Yo importo carros de USA. Yo importo, tú importas, él importa, and the conjugation is just like any other subject verb object. But we're studying verbs that we conjugate using the indirect object pronoun. So in this case, this is not a translation that we are going to use. We're going to go with the translation as to care about. So if I say, I care about you, I'm saying I would be yo, right? But this is a verb that we use with indirect object pronouns. So in this case, I don't use the subject pronoun, but I use the corresponding indirect object pronoun that would be me. Now, you is a single thing because I'm talking about you, one person, not you, several people, right? Me importa usted. Me importa usted. Let's change this. I care about studying. Me importa estudiar. And I can change any other object here that I care about, and that would be what I translate here. But the main thing is that the verb, because this is simple present tense, I go with me importa, right? And I go with me in this case because it's I, right? So I know that for simple present tense, the conjugation is me importa. How about you? You as tú, singular, informal, close relationships. Then it would be te. Te importa estudiar. Oh, I want to give emphasis. Then I use a ti, te importa estudiar. I can say any of this. I can say te importa estudiar or a ti te importa estudiar, and it is you care about studying. It's the same. It is the same. And regardless the subject, if it's you as plural, ustedes, then it will be les. And here it will be a ustedes, les. Studying is one thing. So I use importa, which is the conjugation for singular in the simple present tense, right? If it was plural, we care about dogs. Now we care just not about one thing but several things. Dogs, plural. So we say nos because it's nosotros. So we change indirect object pronoun nos, importan, plural, los perros. Or a nosotros nos importan los perros. It doesn't matter who's the subject here. We use the corresponding indirect object pronoun or the full form, and we use the same conjugation for all of the pronouns. Either it is singular objects or plural objects. And this is for simple present tense. If we have simple past, you cared or we cared. In the simple past in Spanish, we have two ways. We have el pretérito imperfecto and we have el pretérito indefinido. One is for things that we did and that was it. And the other one was for things that we used to do or when we are telling a story about something that we used to do. In the past, I would study English 6 hours a day. It's different than I studied English yesterday. Just yesterday, and that was it. Or that was something that I used to. In Spanish, we have those two ways of saying a simple past. So, if it's just one time and that was it, les importó. Or nos importaron, which would be the conjugation for importar. Nos importaron. Easy, right? Or if it's something that we used to do on a steady basis, les importaba o nos importaban. Nos importaban los perros. A nosotros, let's add this here. Because we can use either just les importaba estudiar or a ustedes les importaba estudiar. Or we can say nos importaban los perros or a nosotros nos importaban los perros. Any of those. See? That's the thing with this kind of verbs. That's the thing. That's the secret. What's the secret? The idea. Hey, Kathleen Clark, thank you for being here. Gracias por estar aquí, Kathleen, y gracias por comunicarte. Gracias por compartir y por estar acá. By the way, Catherine, where are you from, if I may ask? I'm from Colombia. We are here right now in Colombia. If I may ask, where are you from, Kathleen? So this is very important. Talking about the verbs, it is very important to understand this. And with this kind of verbs, that's the deal. That's the deal. Just to understand that conjugation form, you can screen capture. If you watch the video, the video in which I talk about the verb importar and the video in which I talk about the verb fascinar, you can screen capture the conjugation table for all of the tenses. And then start with exercises. As easy as that. And same with the verb fascinar. The verb fascinar is to be fascinated with. To be fascinated with. That would be the verb fascinar. Let's check this real quick. Fascinar would be to be fascinated with. Let's delete this. Fascinar as to be fascinated with. So I can say, me fascina tu mirada. Me fascina tu mirada o me fascina tu cara. I am fascinated by your face. Me fascina tu cara. Or we can use the full form. A mí me fascina tu cara. Same. And this is fascina, simple present tense for one single thing. Or I can say I am fascinated by dogs. And I can say me fascinan, several things, los perros. Or a mí me fascinan los perros. And it's the same. It's the same. This is for simple present tense. This is simple present tense, and I can use either the short or the full form according to the subject that we need, the corresponding indirect object pronoun. And if the object is singular, I use fascina for the simple present, and if the object is plural, we use fascinan for the simple present tense. And we have all the conjugations. And that's it. That's it. It's a matter of practicing. It's a matter of practicing. So I can say, nos importa trabajar contigo. Which is the same that a nosotros nos importa trabajar contigo. We care about working with you. We care about working with you. Nos importa trabajar contigo. Les fascina tu música. Or a ellos les fascina tu música. They are fascinated, or they love your music. They are fascinated by your music. There is one thing that can make this more difficult, and that you will find this. I don't mean to give you a hard time. This is something that you will find, And these sentences, let me split this like this. These sentences can also be put like this. We can switch this like this, and it's exactly the same. Trabajar contigo nos importa. This cannot confuse you. You cannot let this confuse you. So if you work like this, you have to switch the sentence like this as well in order to get used to that. In this case, we can say trabajar contigo nos importa a nosotros. Here we can say tu música les fascina, or we can say tu música les fascina a ellos. And it's the same. This is like the next level. So we start by using indirect object pronoun verb object, just like what you did, what you do in English, but we can switch that. And this is something that you may find it's a little bit more difficult, but it's just a matter of practice. So what's the idea here? The idea here is for you to start getting exposed to this. Oh, Catalina, yeah, Sacramento. Oh, okay. I heard there was an earthquake recently over there. I hope you are okay and you did good with this. You didn't have any kind of issues. I would love to visit California one day. One day. I have some people from friends, acquaintances there in California. So, by the way, it's like what, like 5:57 over there right now. Anyhow, nice having you here. And by the way, once again, thank you for participating in the classes. In fact, let's do this, Kathleen. Just as oh, my back is killing me. Just as like a reward and a token of appreciation for having you here. If you want, we can have a one-on-one session for free. If you have questions, if you want to do something, to talk in Spanish or practice something, we can do that. Just think about that, and whenever you have time, just let me know. You can contact me through. Let me give you this information here. Give me just a Sorry, can you hear me now? Hello? Hello? Oh, sorry. Sorry for that. Yeah. I don't know what happened here. I don't know what happened here, but there was some kind of mute here. So hopefully you can hear me now. So I'm going to restart. What's the way for you to practice this? First, read a lot. Find texts in Spanish in which you can identify the indirect object pronouns following verbs and try to identify the tenses. Oh, this is future, this is a present perfect, this is a subjunctive mood, and such and such. And take note of that, practice and such. By reading, identify. Oh, I spotted one over there. Okay. Next step is to raise the bar a few notches, and that would be listening. So you're going to try and find podcasts, news shows, TV shows, series or movies in Spanish, and try to identify that. Oh, they're using this kind of verb, and this verb is being used with the indirect object pronoun. And try to mirror that. Okay? And the next step would be speaking, because you need to start producing. You need to start talking. That's the next step. So I don't know if you got the thing about the number for Kathleen. I was saying I don't know if you got that. I was thanking you for participating here, and as a token of appreciation, I would like to give you. Oh, you got that part. Okay, and you got the number. Hopefully you did. If you did, okay. If you didn't, let me know. Did you write down the number? I'll show you the number again. Look, this one. +57 321 655 1728. Okay. Okay. Yeah. All right. So send me a message. If I don't reply ASAP, don't worry. I'll reply eventually. I'm not gonna take more than 2 days replying, but just send me a message and I'll reply, and we can arrange something. And thank you very much for being here. So that's the thing that you need to do in order to practice and start speaking, because this is about speaking in Spanish. Remember, you don't know Spanish, don't worry, you're learning. So make mistakes, sound silly, sound weird, it doesn't matter, because we are learning. If you check and if you listen to little kids, 3 years old, 4 years old kids, they make a lot of mistakes, but you can understand them. And that's the way they learn. So don't worry about doing that. You need to start producing and speaking in order to build skills. So that's it. And remember, do not worry too much about the verb conjugation. It'll come. This is one way to understand. Oh, my dog is barking. This is a way for you to understand and get a hold of this and try to understand and start diving into this complex world, but it's baby steps. And then eventually you are going to be mastering these verbs and the thing, because it's pretty much the same for all of the verbs. So I hope this has been helpful and useful. Hopefully you're going to be working on this a lot. Remember, this week we have 2 more videos, and next Tuesday around 6:30 p.m. in Colombian time, I'm gonna be reviewing and doing a live class like this. If you have questions, please be here and ask questions. I'll try to help as much as I can. And having said that, thank you for being here tonight with us. My throat is killing me. I hope to be better next week. And it's been nice seeing you guys, everybody here. Thank you, Catalina. Gracias, Catalina, por compartir y por participar. Gracias a todos los que estuvieron aquí. Que tengan una feliz semana, que disfruten, que aprendan, sigan estudiando y nos vemos el martes. Chao, chao. Nos vemos.